Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm cycling this Let's Play Train Sim Classic, and first of all, I want to thank everyone who came along for the first video in this series. I actually am recording this the same day I published that video, and I noticed that the views just took off on that one. I would like to thank everyone who came along for that, and also hope that you are coming back and seeing the additional videos here as well. I know I'm no longer the first one out there. We've already, in fact, I probably was not the first one out there, but I was one of the first ones because I timed the release around the time the route came out. So I'm glad that I was able to get some interest in the route. I'm seeing that this is a route that apparently generated a lot of interest because I saw some other streams with a lot of people in them as well today. So I'm looking forward to showing you the rest of the scenarios on this route, and I hope to have you along for the entire series. We're going to cover them all through Wednesday. If I see anything in the workshop, I might change up my schedule a little bit to add another scenario in there. I may do an extra one on Thursday if that's the case, to do a workshop scenario. But if there are no workshop scenarios by then, I'll just move on to the next route. So I don't have a problem with that. If there is something, I'll try to show it. If not, I'll just move on. But for right now, let's go ahead and figure out what we want to do for the order on this. I'm going to have to go back and clean up and see if there's any achievements for these now that the live route is out for everyone. So any achievements that are on these scenarios I should be able to obtain now. I'll just have to replay these to get them if there are any on the tutorials. I'll check that and report back if I see them. But for right now, I'm trying to decide the right order to do these. Because there's a manual mode challenge here, I figure that should be the last one that we do of these three. Because there are therefore 2 outer circle services and 1 inner circle service, I decided that doing the outer circle service first would probably be the best way to go here. So I'm going to start by doing the outer circle service. Tomorrow we're going to do the inner circle service, so keep an eye out for that one tomorrow. Next week, I'm going to go ahead and look at these 2, I believe. I think I'm going to do these 2 on Tuesday as one video. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards. Then on Wednesday, I'll do the manual mode challenge and try to do the route in manual mode, driving manually. That's going to be the most challenging, especially since there's no speed limits shown on the route. So I'm going to have to actually look at the speed limits along the route as I go to make sure I'm not speeding when in situations where I could otherwise be going way too fast. Naturally, I'm going to be using some save games on that one because it's kind of hard to plan ahead if you don't have speed limits on the HUD. That's one problem with the route. The speed limits are not on the HUD. I don't know if that changes while you're in manual mode. I don't think it does. I think you just have to know where everything is. I think it's, from what I've seen so far, it looks like 55 on the main route, 35 as you enter a station or something like that. I may be wrong on that, but that could be how the automatic mode does as well because you have to slow down to enter the station. You don't want to just soar through the station. So I think it might be 35 as you enter a station, then it goes back to 55 as you get in the station. So we'll see what happens. We'll play this in manual mode. We'll see what happens as we go along. I'll try to make notes of it. I'm not going to play manual mode today. I'm doing the outer circle service today. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. It is going to be mostly automatic. So I'm basically going to push a button. And I found out, by the way, button N, the key N, is apparently the auto driving mode. So I'm going to go ahead and just try and move about the cab realistically to do whatever I need to do. I'll try and do that. Other than that, we're just going to drive. So let's go ahead and get in the scenario and have some fun, shall we? Good morning. Today your train will form Service 14 on the outer circle. Prepare your train and drive in manual mode to Depot Line 2, where you will change cabins and reverse to your first station stop at Govan. By the way, thank you, Joseph, on YouTube for letting me know the pronunciation is Govan. Appreciate it. Be careful to slow down on approach and ensure that the whole train is in the platform at Govan before opening the passenger doors. Close this window to begin. Okay, so first things first. Easy step to forget. Always make sure you do it. Remove the parking brake. Easy first step. Now we're going to put the reverser up into forward so you can see the white light on the dash there showing that we're now in forward. I'm going to go ahead and move to shunt. While we do that, let's turn the headlights off. I think we're going to keep on a single setting for shunting operations. Now I don't know if you noticed, but the throttle decided to stop increasing on its own. This train knows the speed limit upon all sections of track, and it will force you to comply with the speed limit on all sections of track. You cannot speed in this scenario, except potentially for going down a hill. Other than that, and that's only to enter the network, but other than that, you can't really speed in these scenarios. It's kind of hard to do so. You can see the information on the different depot lines coming up here. We don't care about all that right now. We're just going to Depot Line 2. We're going to go through Depot Line 3, and I guess also through Depot Line 4. That must be Depot Line 4 further ahead. So we have shunt signals to allow us through. We're going to do that. While we're doing this, by the way, let's look behind us. Oh, There you go. Service 3 is also coming out today. We are apparently not highlighted as a service. That is interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. So you might be wondering how I'm going to be able to show you the passenger view. We'll look at that in a moment. But for right now, let's worry about getting to the line at the end. And by the way, the reason I say you might be wondering about how I'm going to show you passenger view is because typically view number 5 gives you some kind of minuscule passenger view. We don't have that on this train. There is no option 5, and the reason is because if we were set to option 5, we would suddenly find ourselves snapped back to the cab on the tunnel. So the way that Thompson got around this is by making the actual passenger view one of the views available from the driver cab. That is how they get around this. So one of the cab views is basically the passenger view. That's the way around this. So this train caught up to us because I was slowing down a little early. That's fine. I shouldn't have gone that far, but we're okay. Let's go ahead and change cabs very quickly so we're ready to go. Leave that on 60, turn the parking brake on. Turn the headlights off, by the way, on this side. So parking brake will now be on. And let's change cabs, shall we? Boom. So on this side, again, we're going to turn the parking brake off. Off, thank you. Let's put the reverser up. Yes, we're doing that, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put the shunt operation on right now, so we're going to turn this on to take a look at it. There we are. Headlights are going on. Full on. Yep, it's not letting me gain any more speed. Notice I have shunt on. It is saying no to gaining speed. I'm not allowed to gain. No matter what I try to do, it's not letting me gain above the 16.3 I'm at right now. It keeps you within a certain speed envelope. And now it's letting me gain a little bit. We're now entering the gradient where we have a 1 in 47, 39, 33. So I'm going to have to hold the brakes. This is something the train will not be able to guard very well against. So we're going to have to ride the brakes ourselves and make sure we stay within our envelope. Looks like the train might have actually done it for us, which I was not ready to do. Hello. How's that for a screenshot, guys? My work here is done. I'm Cyclone. See you next time. No, let's do the service. Oh, I don't want to brake. Let's keep going. Not on series, preferably, for right now. Put a little bit of a dim light on here. That's nice. Very nice dim light. So we're running at our 17.5 out of 18 right now. And here we are going 55. So we're going to go ahead and just punch up the series very quickly. So now we're going to slow it down a bit. That's exactly where I want to be. Doors are going to be open now, and we are ready to go at the time that our movement to automatic mode begins, which is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to hold the N button.
Partick, next stop.
Our automatic services have begun. We're now going to show a radio. So there's our passenger views I'm talking about right here. These are how I'm going to look around the cab as passengers board the train today. Let's put the throttle into full right now. That's the reverser. Let's try that again, shall we? Now we're in shunt. We're in series. I meant to go to parallel. So yeah, I'm basically already putting the throttle forward to the P notch, which is what I'm doing right now. The reverse is already marked in A. I accidentally took it out. I had to put it back in, so we're going to fix that very quickly. And once that's done, we're ready to go automatic the entire way. So so just read this completely. We now have an auto drive permit as shown on the desk display, and I was actually going to try to show you that down here in the corner. In this section right here, there's the auto permit light on the far left. It also says tail light on, headlight on, so that's important to know as well. So there you go. Left doors are open, obviously. So you can now use to enable ATO, we already know this from the tutorial. You can now use the auto start buttons to proceed around the route between stations. Remember to stop at every station and allow passengers to board, which is automatically done anyway. We can continue in manual driving mode, but we are not going to because I want to show you some passenger views on this journey today. That's basically what I want to do here. So we're going to stay in automatic mode and let's have some fun with this. Automatic button, by the way, I did not say in the tutorial because I didn't know at the time, but the automatic mode button is N. So when you push N on the keyboard, or you can just go over to, this button over here, and you can push this as well. So if you push this button right here, that's the auto start button. N will activate that. There's another one over on this side. So once you activate that, you're ready to go in auto start. So let's actually get back to that side of the train right now, and we're going to go ahead and hit N as soon as I close this box. It didn't go. There it goes.
Next stop, Partick.
Do we have passengers? Yes, we do. So taking a quick look over at the buttons or the displays down here, we can see that the doors are locked, auto drive is on, headlights, taillights, auto permit is still set. We're going 54 kilometers per hour as our speed limit indicated on the HUD right now. We're going to see if we can look at that later on as it changes. There's nothing really happening over here on the auto HUD. So looking at the buttons over here, we have doors locked, auto drive, auto permit still showing up. The same things show up over there. So you can see that from either side of the cab. That way you're able to go as you need to. Let's zoom in on the station coming in here. I don't need to flash the door. Let's not do that. Okay, I'm going to come down here now, and we're going to go ahead and watch our entry into the station. So I went down to 35. If we look down at the HUD, there's now nothing indicated here. So it would have said 35 a moment ago. Notice that 18 is also a speed limit. I'm not sure what the F1, F2, F3 are yet, but I will get to that and show you at some point once I know what those are. That'll be the train tour, which I'm going to try and do next scenario. I just didn't have my information ready when I started doing this, and I didn't think of doing that for the second run either. So, yeah, I'll show you that later once I have any information on what that is. So, let's take a quick peek outside while we're here. This is Partick. You see that we're going to be following on the outer circle to Kelvinhall, or actually, yeah, Kelvinhall, Hillhead, Kelvinbridge, St. George's Cross, Cowcaddens, Buchanan Street, St. Enoch, or St. Enoch, however you say it. I'll get to that later. And that goes further. So they are crossing stations for different railway lines. As you can see, regular railway lines use several of those stations. That has nothing to do with us. Why was I about to change that? There. Automatic.
Next stop, Kelvinhall.
Thank you. There, you can see we're coming to the end of the tunnel right here. And here we are, Kelvinhall. This is an island platform. You have to take an elevator to get down here. There might be some stairs at the other end. Let's explore in a second. Doors are open. That's not what I want to do. I want to go outside. Thank you. So, are there stairs here? Yep, there are stairs over here. This is the way out, and I guess you teleport, and you're outside, just like that. So the depot is all the way over here. This is where we started all the way over here. That's where we are going to be returning at the end of the scenario once again, to the depot. Let's get a passenger view for this one after we have the train started.
Next stop, Hillhead.
And let's get the passenger view. So watching from the cab. You know what? We should have saloon lights on back here. Let's fix this problem very quickly. Saloon lights. We should turn those on. There. Problem solved. So back to the cab. Much better for them now. That should be... that is something you should do for your passengers. They do not want to drive in the dark. They want to be able to read while they're on the subway. So we need to give them access to the reading material while they're on the subway. They get finicky if they don't, you understand. They get a little finicky if you don't have that available for them. So let's make sure that they are able to... they're not doing a lot of reading, are they? They're just... You're just staring with a smile at these people. Okay. Let's get to our station up here. Doors are going to open. There we go. Arrival at Hillhead. Let's take a quick look outside once again. So this is the end of the platform we would use. Notice that there is a second platform that's an island platform. It only services this track. It doesn't serve this train, which is kind of weird why they would set it up that way. I don't understand. But they did that. You're clearly waiting for the other train, so I'm not going to harass you, sir. You're very happy. And you are also waiting for the other train. So that's that. Again.
Kelvinbridge, next stop.
Let's put the lights back to a dim. We don't need them completely on. Of course, you can also turn completely off, but then you can't see a darn thing. So we're not going to do that. Let's go back to the cab for a moment. Okay. And that's back to my train, and we're in the cab again, and I just saw these people. Okay, 3 views of the same cab, apparently. Noted. So you're going to notice that our timetable is going to be behind all the way. Like, right now we're okay. We're on time for right now, but we are going to fall behind very, very quickly. So it's technically still on time, so we're not going to worry about the timings. They're all late, but they're all still on time at the same time, which is kind of funny. We've been given allowances for stop distances on these journeys. If you drive manually, it's a lot harder to maintain even the late schedule that you're allowed to take here. Doors are now open. Let's look outside once again. This is, as you can see, we had a little bit of room we could have pulled up at the start of the whole scenario, but we didn't do that. That's fine. This is Kelvinbridge, as you can see. And, sir, the train is here. Get on. The door is right over here, sir. There's one over there, too. Like, sir. Fine, stand there. You want the other train? You are lovely. I like you. You look good. You look good, too. One thing I can say is that Thompson modeled some nice models on this route. Let's just go ahead and do that now. Hello, people. There we go. And leaving Kelvinbridge, our next stop is St. George's Outer Cross. Let's let the passengers know.
St. George's Cross, next stop.
There we go. Now taking a quick peek at the map here, I know that there's trains coming along in each direction here. We're going to have a Service 7 coming along here as well, so we're going to keep an eye on him later on. So at the next station we might have 2 trains. No, I don't want that. Might be another train at the next station. We're going to find out as we go. So now the doors are open on the right. You saw the button on the display. The doors locked, moved to the right, red button. And when they lock again, you're going to see the center one light up to say they're locked again. So that's again how those buttons work. We are looking again at a no smoking door. We have a woman. The door is behind you. Get on. It's just you. Get on.
Next stop, Cowcaddens.
Cowcaddens. There you go. Normally I would want to address the passengers, but the automated system is doing a fine job letting people know as long as I remember to push it. If I don't remember to push it, then it's kind of hard for the automated system to do its fine job. I can see the button on the top just lit up here, that speed change. We're now entering an 18-kilometer-hour section. We've been warned about that. So that is our warning for the speed limit change. You're going to see it take effect right there. So we are now in that section. Let's go ahead and keep this lit up, or keep this in view for a moment as we pull into the station, which is very, very close. We're going to see it eventually change to a 55 again. Or it'll actually go off because the train's going to come to a stop. So it'll actually go off instead. And let's, I think we're gonna have another train coming in the station as we're here, so let's get ready to watch another train come in as well at the same time. So the light has gone off to show that we are done here with our traveling. We're just gonna slow down at this point. That's what the train is now doing. There's the train coming in. I wanted to watch it come in, but I was too slow. So we're gonna go ahead and open the doors. Here we go. So we have arrived. Meanwhile, that train has also opened its doors. Who's on that train today? There they are. Looks exactly the same as the woman on my train, doesn't she? She looks exactly the same. Because if we come on my train here, hello. Oh, nice lady here. Nice young lady here. And on the back car, there's the. There you go. That is randomized, may I remind you. Passengers are random. So we're going to go ahead and start automatically. Let's go ahead and move our view a little bit.
Buchanan Street, next stop.
Did I say that right?
Buchanan Street, next stop.
Oh, Buchanan Street. It was saying it. Okay, I didn't hear it right. So it is Buchanan Street. We are now in a 35, so you can see that's lit up down there. 35 is now the speed. So those are the three speed limits on this route. You have 18, 35, and 55, and they are in kilometers per hour. So at some point, I think we're going to enter another 55. The reason we're on a 35 right now and on the earlier 18 is because we're coming around some rough curves right now. That's why we're on that. So we're going to have another one coming up around where Service 9 is coming through. We're going to eventually meet Service 9 around St. Enoch. That's where we're going to meet Service 9. We're now in a 55 again, so if I hide this, you can see the 55 button is lit up down below once again. I apologize if you keep seeing this prompt, by the way. This is the door prompt. I don't like this prompt being here all the time. I almost wish this door was not interactable, because when are you ever going to walk out the door? I almost wish you couldn't open it just for that reason, but you can't open it. It's more of a train sim world function that you would use that door for. You can get out the train in the front if you're finished the service and you just want to be a rebel and ignore the fact that it's an emergency exit. So, doors are open. And let's look outside once again. So there is Buchanan Street. Now let's look at the next upcoming stations. Oh, that's the inner circle. Let's look at this side. We're going to St. Enoch, Bridge Street, West Street, Shields Road, Kidding Park, Cessnock, and Ibrox. That's another one that Joseph mentioned to me. Thank you, Joseph, for correcting me on Ibrox as well. So that's the stations we have coming up, and that's where we actually end our service. As I'm sure you can appreciate, things don't always go perfectly when recording. I ended up recording this twice because my first recording had alerts on the screen because I had the wrong OBS setting. So most of what you're seeing is my second recording. However, a cell phone call rang through on that, which I heard and had to go answer. So I'm basically clipping that part out of that recording, which means we're now going to go back to the first recording, which means you're going to see a sudden dramatic shift in my position in the cab right about now. Leaving Buchanan Street, our next stop is St. Enoch. I might be saying that one wrong. I don't have that one mastered yet. St. Enoch. If I am saying it wrong, please let me know in the comments. I certainly appreciate making sure I'm saying things correctly. I just heard an extra clunk there. It might just be my imagination, but I swear I heard it. There was another one. So pillars in the middle of this station, a main platform on each side, so no islands. We've arrived at St. Enoch.
Next stop, Bridge Street.
So you saw service 9 when I showed you the screen earlier. It actually is not the next service where we're going to see it, say, Enoch, or however you say it. We're going to see it at Bridge Street. So I'll try to get you a view of both trains entering the station since we are on auto. So let's go ahead and take a quick look up at the station and see if we can get a look at the trains coming in. That little cough at the end of that scene. Oh, the realism. Okay, leaving Bridge Street, we're on our way to West Street Outer at this point. Well, I shouldn't have to say Outer, West Street Station, obviously. And you can see this has a yellow hue to it, West Street does. And there we are, arrival at West Street. So a quick look at this station. You can see, well, once again, we have an exit here. We go around this corner and we enter the void. We enter the void right there. So if we head back underground, we return to the void. We go through this wall. We are back in the station proper somehow. There we are, down the stairs. Back on the train, into the ground because I'm very klutzy. And hello, everybody. So I'm going to go over here and push the N once again. There we are. Back over here.
Next stop, Shields Road.
You can assume that I informed my passengers about West Street as well. You just would not have heard it from outside the cab, so I didn't bother to simulate that. And you can see that our speed is stopping at 35. We are coming to another one of those corners here. So there's our 35 on the HUD right now. And already we're back up to 55 as it updates. And we now enter the proper area of Shields Road. Kidding Park is following as the next station. Once we are fully inside, we will open the doors once again. Oh, look at that lovely guy just smiling at us in his yellow shirt. So looking outside. Ah, Shields Road. Please alight here for Scotland Street School Museum. Okay. We're going to continue, by the way, to Kidding Park, Cessnock, Ibrox, and then we're going to go ahead and leave the station. You see the indicators there for the depot? That's how we come in. I don't know about the one on next to Partick, but Govan is obviously how we enter, and I guess they, I guess you get a service at the beginning of Partick as well. I'm not sure.
Kidding Park, next stop.
Thank you. Or rather, you're welcome, passengers. Just take another look at the saloon. Nice. 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 Okay. Our speed is once again kept down to 35. The reason for that is because we're coming around another, well, not much of a curve, but it was a curve. So that's why we got cut to 35. You can see we are coming to the point where we're going to leave the back to Depot Lane 1 right there. So you can see we're going to be lined into that area. This is just a one circle service right here. So now arriving to Kidding Park. There's another train coming in once again. There we go. So taking a quick peek outside. They've also opened their doors. Again, every stop for every train. And they also have a very crowded train. Looks like some of the same passengers that were on my train. I mean, they like to clone themselves. He looks like a game show host, doesn't he? That's the same woman. That is the same woman. I appreciate the random passengers thing, but that's the same woman. Exactly the same woman. So once again, we're going to punch the button. There we go. Let's let our passengers know what's going on.
Cessnock, next stop.
Cessnock is our next stop. So I'm very happy that with the response that my first video in this series received. There were nearly a couple hundred views on this, which for me is pretty good. So I'm very happy that there seems to be a lot of interest in this route. And I think that should be happy for DTG more than I am for me, because the fact that DTG has this really interesting route out means there's a lot of interest in what this subway route would look like given it's the first subway route released, which is really the reason why I wanted to show this off, because it is unique and it gives you a chance to see it. So I hope that I hope that you do plan to stay for the duration of the series. I'm going to play all the scenarios. I'm going to play, if there is a workshop scenario, I'm going to try and get a workshop scenario in there as well at the end of this. But other than that, I'm probably going to be doing the whole series this week, and aside from any workshop content or anything interesting that comes on with other stock that might get added, I'm otherwise going to be probably finished with this route after that. So this will probably be your one chance to see a lot of this route, and barring the odd workshop scenario, I'm going to be done here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the entire series of scenarios for this route right now. Let's take a quick look at Cessnock, and we're done looking at Cessnock. Let's go.
Ibrox next stop.
Now we know that Ibrox is our next stop. Let's punch that again to hear what it sounds like.
Next stop, Ibrox.
Yeah, Ibrox. There you go. Ibrox is the next stop. We know it's the last stop, but the announcement has not caught up with that yet. You may remember from the tutorial that it will catch up when we enter the station. So we are going to find out that this is the last stop on the announcement as well. There we go. Service is terminating in Ibrox, so all of our lovely passengers are going to leave the train in just a moment. Let's get a view of them leaving the train, shall we? You're supposed to leave the train. You're supposed to leave the train. Get off my train. Get off my train. Sir? Sir? Ma'am? Everyone? Okay, report to this. Okay, got it. Everybody, I need you off the train, please. We'll check back there in a minute. Okay, good enough. We're going to change our reverser to... First of all, let's get the throttle down to nothing, or we're going to have problems. Let's read this, shall we? As we are terminating our service here at Ibrox and returning to the depot, we must now disable ATO. Again, we know this from the tutorial. Return the throttle brake controller back to the full notch, which... Let me try that again. Return the brake controller back to the full... Yeah, the brake controller, yeah. I'm moving that down right now. And then move the reverser to the notch marked F, which means we're going to push up with the W key and move it down 1. So then we're going to return to depot line 1 in manual mode, because you can't go to the depot automatically. You have to do that manually. So that's what we're doing. So let's close that. Let's continue lowering my throttle. I'm going to go ahead and put the throttle... Whoop, that's... There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and start driving manually. Make sure people have left the train. Yep, they've left the train. We're good. So let's turn the lights on for a moment. I can turn the saloon lights off at this point. So I'm going to... We probably shouldn't. We probably don't want to do that, but I'm going to do that anyway. So now it's nice and dark back there. I'm going to hide this because we're going to see the... Well, at some point the 18 is going to light up, so I'm going to keep it going 30 for right now. I mean, I probably should be going a little faster, but I'm going to keep it at 30 for the time being. I'm going to get down for the signal because I think that's where the speed change really occurs. There's the 18 right there, so it's going to force me to lower now anyway. And now I'm going to be limited to the 17 because it doesn't want me to get near 18. So notice that we're forced into the low speed well before the speed limit. We cannot move our speed up. I have shunt on. Normally it gains speed very, very fast, but notice it's not letting me gain any speed right now because we literally are not allowed to go past 18 when we're approaching an 18. That's what's happening here. We're now in the 18. We're going to eventually make our way up this hill back to depot line 1. Then we'll reverse into depot. Depot line 19 is where we're going to end up. So the track to our right is exactly how we entered the network earlier, back here. We went through the other tunnel and went towards Govan. So we're basically just coming back in the other direction now. As the depot emerges above our train line here, we're going to eventually flatten out. We're going to be back in the depot area. Just like that. So as all the tracks now start joining us. Meanwhile, we're going to get ourselves back in the train. We're going to get ready to watch for our stop signal, our stop location up ahead, because we have to stop manually at this one. So I move the throttle off. I'm going to start braking right now. Taking the brake off because I'm becoming a little too slow, but now I'm going to go ahead and keep going to stop. We're at the 3-car stop. That's exactly where we want to be. Let's shut this down, keep it at 60%. Reverser is going to go to off. We're going to go ahead and set the parking brake to on this particular cabin. And I think we're all set here. I don't believe I missed anything on this side. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and change cabs. Over to this thing. And there we are. We're back on this side, right where we left off there. So we're going to go ahead and go where we already are in that cabin. So let's take the parking brake off on this one. That would be a smart thing to do, wouldn't it? Parking brake off. Back to this side. We're going to put the reverser. The reverser was apparently left up on this side, which was a bad idea. We don't want to do that generally. But we're going to head back to the depot right now. I might have left the headlights on the other side. I'm going to have to go back and check the headlights back there. I'm pretty sure that was an error. If I go to the back of the train, well, it says tail lights on, so either way. So now we're going to cross through Depot Line 4. That other train that we saw earlier is still over there. He has not gone anywhere. Hello, trees. Yes. That train is still over there from earlier, has not gone anywhere. We obviously have the signal. It's now red for anyone else. So once again, looking at the signals as we cross. We're now out of the block, and the signal is going to change to nothing. Okay, it's going to give the shunt signal, so we still have shunt access if we want it, but we don't. So back to the front of the train, we're going to enter the shed right now, entering the depot. You are able to have an external view from here. External views are possible from the depot, so that is perfectly acceptable. And I know better not to go all the way to the end of the line now because I'm going to get screwed over somewhere. So here we are. We're at the end. The gate is closed. And let's look at our train as we finish, shall we? And that is more or less how the Glasgow subway runs. You just push N all day. And then make sure you let passengers on at every stop. That's basically how it works. And then just drive in and out as you need to. Manually. So it's not a hard route at all. This is a very easy route. It's kind of like a good beginner's route if you think about it, because you just have to push TN, 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 and if you want to be realistic, push a button on the radio to tell customers where they're getting off. So again, because I already cleared this stereo on a previous run that you're not seeing, you can see that the 1,000 points has already been earned, therefore I'm not gaining any on this one. And everything was perfect. Now, on the previous run, I actually was exactly on time for one stop. Literally 1 second longer, I would have been late, but I still was able to get the full score because I didn't lose any points. It was literally the exact second I needed to stop and any later I would have been having a little bit of an issue. But even then, I could have lost 4 points. Because you can see if you go down here, the last marker is worth apparently only 14. That doesn't make sense. Let's see. 50, 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 850, 890, 930, 980. I'm doing the math wrong because somehow there's 14 left and I somehow came down to 4 left. So apparently there's a lot of points available in this scenario. You can actually have some slight lateness and you're still okay. But I had everything on time. I was perfect. So, you know, nothing wrong with that. Let's take a look at the next scenario, shall we? So tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and do the inner circle service. I think I should have looked at what these scenarios were before I actually did the outer circle service first. Because I can see that this is an inner service scenario as well. I'm going to have to do another inner service. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by shunting a train together, and then I will do the inner circle service at that point. So we're going to do our assembling a 3-car train at the yard. Then we're going to do our departure and start an inner circle service from Govan. So that's what we're going to be doing here in the future next week. But we're going to do the regular inner circle service, I think, next time. I think that's probably the best way to do it. We're going to get that tape. We're going to get that ready to go for Saturday, which is tomorrow. And as you're seeing this, because I'm releasing this on Friday. So make sure you do come back and watch the inner circle service that's going to be airing tomorrow. And yeah, that's basically all there is to say. It's going to be exactly the same as the outer circle service, but we're going to be going in the other direction. Ooh. If you want us to be going the other direction, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And make sure you like the video to show me that this is of interest to you. Got a lot of likes on the other video, and for me that is, it's a lot of likes. So I'm very pleased with that. I'm glad that there is some interest in this route, because like I said, this is a fun little route to just while away the time with. If you just need something quick to do and easy, and you got a lot of things on the go, but you still want to play some Train Simulator, come in here, push TN, 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 and you're good to go for a while. That's all you got to do. In any case, I'll see you next time for the Inner Circle Service, which, before I get to the wrapping up, I want to say again, thank you for watching. I'm Cyclone. Make sure you do have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for you, your part of the world. If you do leave, see you next time. If you stay with me and you're on our playlist on this channel, I'm going to go ahead and release that playlist, by the way, on the third video. I'm going to release that playlist as this third video publishes. So if you happen to be watching the playlist, the video is already out because I'm going to release it with the video. But on that playlist, the next video will start in 3, 2, 1.